The year is 1258. Along the banks of the Tigris, a river that has cradled civilization for millennia, the air grows thick with smoke. From the walls of Baghdad, a scholar clutches a half-burned manuscript, its scorched edges crumbling in his hands. He looks out not at an army, but at an idea made real, an idea of absolute, unyielding conquest. This isn't just the fall of a city. It's the moment history looked away. For 500 years, Baghdad was more than a capital. It was the world's heart. Its house of wisdom was not just a library. It was humanity's collective mind, alive and expanding. Here, scholars from every faith and every land translated the works of Aristotle, Euclid, and Hippocrates. They didn't just preserve knowledge, they built upon it. Algebra, optics, medicine, ideas born in this city would shape futures yet to be imagined. The city was a testament to a powerful belief that knowledge was a light, meant to be shared, meant to grow brighter with every mind it touched. It was a city built on curiosity, a metropolis of thinkers, astronomers, poets, and doctors. To walk its streets was to walk through a living library of human potential. But ideas, like cities, can be fragile. Far to the east, another idea was taking shape. It was born on the harsh, windswept steppes, an idea of unity forged through absolute loyalty and relentless expansion. Genghis Khan united the Mongol tribes under a single banner, driven by a vision of a world under one rule. This wasn't about sharing knowledge. It was about imposing order. His grandson Hulagu Khan carried this vision westward. His ambition was a force of nature, a storm gathering on the horizon. When Hulag's horde arrived at the gates of Baghdad, it was more than a clash of armies. It was a collision of two worlds, two fundamental ideas about how humanity should live. The Caliph of Baghdad, secure behind his city's legendary walls and 5 centuries of prestige, refused to bow. He believed his city was eternal, protected by its history, its God, its very importance to the world. He sent warnings back to Hulagu, threats of divine retribution. But Hulag's belief was in the tangible power of his army. He saw a world of conquerors and the conquered, and he had no intention of being the latter. The siege began. For weeks, the thud of mangonels echoed against the ancient walls. The caliph's threats proved hollow. The city's defenses, once thought impenetrable, began to crumble. The promise of divine protection faded with each stone that fell. On February 10th, the walls were breached. What followed was not a conquest. It was an annihilation. The storm broke over Baghdad, and for 7 days the city bled. The invaders poured through the streets, not just as soldiers, but as the embodiment of an idea that had no room for another. They weren't there to rule the city. They were there to erase it. The house of wisdom, that brilliant heart of the world, was systematically destroyed. Countless manuscripts, histories, scientific treatises, poems, philosophies were torn apart, used as kindling or thrown into the Tigris. The river, it was said, ran black with the ink of dissolved books and red with the blood of the scholars who wrote them. An eyewitness wrote, "They swept through the city like hungry falcons attacking a flight of doves." This wasn't the first time an idea sought to extinguish another. Centuries earlier in Alexandria, a magnificent library, a beacon of the classical world's learning, was lost to fire and conflict. The knowledge of ancient Greece and Rome, painstakingly collected, flickered and died. An ambition for political and religious purity decided that some ideas were too dangerous to exist. The world became poorer for it. A universe of thought reduced to ash. We lost entire branches of philosophy, plays we'll never see, scientific theories that had to be rediscovered centuries later. The smoke from Alexandria's library cast a long shadow, a warning that went unheeded. And centuries after Baghdad, the pattern would repeat. In the heart of Europe, the Spanish Inquisition sought to purify a kingdom through faith. Books were burned in public squares, their authors with them. The idea was control, a single, unchallengeable truth. Knowledge became heresy. Again, humanity's mind was censored, its curiosity punished. The flames in the plazas of Seville and Toledo were lit with the same fire of certainty that consumed the libraries of Alexandria and Baghdad. An idea once again demanded that all other ideas kneel or be destroyed. Then, in the 20th century, the same echo, louder and more terrible. In Berlin, students in brown shirts gathered at night. They threw books onto a massive bonfire, the works of Einstein, Freud, and countless others. They cheered as culture turned to smoke. The ideology was simple. Anything that challenged their vision of the world had to be purged. The burning of books was just the prelude. The fires that consumed paper soon consumed people. Each event, separated by oceans and centuries, shared the same terrifying logic. The belief that one idea, one truth, one power is so absolute that all others must be silenced. Do you see the pattern? The smoke rising from the riverbank in Baghdad in 1258. It's the same smoke that choked the skies over Alexandria. It's the same smoke that filled the plazas of Spain and the squares of Berlin. It is the smoke of certainty, the haze of an ambition so total that it devours everything in its path. It begins with the desire to unify, to correct, to control. It ends with the destruction of what makes us human, our questions, our stories, our disagreements. The scholar on the wall in Baghdad wasn't just watching his city die. He was watching a part of humanity's shared memory turn to ash. He was witnessing the terrible cost of believing that your world is the only one that matters. The echo of that moment is not just a story, it's a warning. We think of history as a line, moving from the past into the future. But it's not, it's a circle. The same ideas, the same ambitions, the same fires keep returning, wearing different masks. Today, we don't always need bonfires. We have new ways to erase ideas, to silence voices, to create our own houses of wisdom and declare all others heretical. We draw lines, build walls, and retreat into the comfort of our own certainties, forgetting that the ink of Baghdad still stains the river of time. The past isn't behind us, it is within us, and history doesn't vanish. It only echoes. Thanks for watching.